The arrival. The sky over Earth turned silver as a strange object appeared. It floated above the planet, silent and shining like a star that refused to blink. People everywhere stopped what they were doing. Phones came out. Cameras rolled. News. Channels screamed alien ship over Earth. Nations held emergency meetings. Scientists watched with wide eyes. Some people prayed. Others cheered. But no one knew what was inside the ship. It didn't attack. It didn't move. It just waited. Then, after 3 days of silence, the ship spoke. Not through sound, but through screens, radios, and even inside people's minds. A voice, soft, calm, and beautiful, whispered a strange message. You admire my beauty, human, but my true power lies beneath the steel. The world froze. Some thought it was a threat. Others believed it was an invitation. The United Earth Council chose one person to go up there, someone smart, calm, and brave. Her name was Captain Raina Voss, and she had faced death more than once. She didn't smile much. Didn't speak unless needed. But when she looked at the ship through the window of the space station, her eyes narrowed. That thing, she said quietly, isn't here to talk. Soon Raina was suited up and placed inside a small shuttle. The world watched as she flew toward the silver giant. As she got closer, the ship opened like a blooming flower. Not metal tearing or unfolding, but more like it was thinking, and the door simply appeared. Her shuttle was pulled inside without a sound. Everything went dark. When Raina opened her eyes, she was inside a round chamber. The walls glowed with soft blue light. The air smelled like nothing she had ever known. Not clean, not dirty. Just strange. Then she saw her. A figure stood in the center. Not quite human. Tall, with smooth silver skin that shimmered like water, eyes like twin galaxies. Her voice came without her lips moving. Welcome, Captain Raina. Raina reached for her radio. This is Captain Raina. I've made contact. I'm not alone. The figure tilted her head, almost like a curious cat. I am Zalara. Do you find me beautiful? Raina didn't answer. She looked around the chamber. No doors, no control panels, just Zalara. Why are you here? Raina asked. To know your kind, Zalara said. To decide if you belong or must be erased. Raina stayed calm. What do you want from us? Zalara stepped closer. Her movements were too perfect, like she was floating instead of walking. You see my face and think I'm kind, peaceful, harmless. That is your mistake. Then what are you? Raina asked. Zalara's voice dropped lower. I am judgment. I have tested 100 worlds. Many admired me. None survived. A chill ran down Raina's spine. Why me? Why send for me? Zalara smiled. Because you are clever. And because you came alone. Suddenly the floor shifted beneath Raina's feet. The walls around her melted into new shapes. Long hallways, rising platforms, spinning lights. Zalara's voice echoed around her. You are now inside the trial. Pass it and your world lives. Fail, and I erase all memory of your kind from the stars. Raina didn't move. She stared at the new shape of the room. It was like the ship was alive, changing, watching, listening. Is this a game? She asked. No, Zalara replied. This is truth. You admire my beauty, human, but my true power lies beneath the steel. The lights flickered. Shadows danced along the walls. Raina took a deep breath and stepped forward into the unknown. The test darkness swallowed Raina. Not the kind of darkness you feel in a room with no lights, but the kind that feels alive. She blinked, expecting her eyes to adjust, but nothing changed. No walls, no ceiling, no floor, just empty space. Then a voice came, soft, close, whispering like a breath inside her skull. Your heart is fast, human. Your mind is awake. Good. The trial begins now. A single light flicked on above her head. It revealed a hallway made of smooth, silver metal. It stretched far ahead, with strange symbols glowing faintly along the sides. Raina turned, but behind her was only darkness. No way back. She moved forward. Her boots made no sound on the floor. The air was heavy, like it was thinking. Watching. Then a screen lit up beside her. Zalara's face appeared again. Beautiful, perfect, but her eyes were wrong. They didn't blink, didn't move, just stared deep into Reyna's soul. "Do you know why beauty is dangerous, Reyna?" Zalara asked. Reyna kept walking. "Because it makes people stop thinking." "Correct," Zalara said, smiling faintly. "You think that is why you are here." The hallway split into 3 paths. Above each path, a different word appeared, written in Zalara's strange language. Somehow, Reyna understood them. Logic, trust, and fear. She stood there for a moment, thinking. "This isn't just a test," she whispered to herself. "It's a trap." She chose logic. As soon as she stepped into the path, the door behind her vanished. Now she was inside a circular room. Floating in the air were dozens of shapes, cubes, pyramids, spheres, all spinning. Each had numbers and symbols carved on them. A calm voice echoed, "Solve the pattern. 2 wrong answers and your trial ends." Reyna studied the shapes. They weren't random. She saw a code, a pattern in how they spun and which symbol faced her. Slowly, she reached out and touched one of the cubes. It froze, then glowed green. 1. Correct, she smiled slightly. But on the 3rd shape, she hesitated. Was it a trick? Was Zalara reading her thoughts? Suddenly, the room began to shrink. Walls closed in like a moving trap. "Tick-tock, Captain," Zalara said. "Beauty fades. Steel remains." Reyna slammed her hand on the shape. Red glow. Wrong. The ceiling dropped 10 feet. She didn't panic. She didn't scream. She thought. And on the last shape, she found the hidden answer. Not on the surface, but inside. She twisted the object. It opened like a puzzle box. Green glow. "Well done," Zalara whispered. "You think?" Deeper. The room dissolved. Now Reyna was somewhere else, a long bridge over a bottomless pit. No railings, just a narrow path of light. On the other side stood a human figure. "Reyna," it called. A man's voice. Soft. Familiar. Her eyes widened. "Eli?" She hadn't heard that name in years. Commander Eli Draven had gone missing during a deep space mission. Declared dead. No body. Found. And now, he stood on the other side of the bridge, looking just as she remembered. "This can't be real," Reyna whispered. "Come to me," Eli said. "I'm real. Zalara lied to you. She holds me here." Reyna took 1 step forward, then stopped. "Prove it's really you," she said. Eli smiled. "When we trained on Luna Base, you always slept with your boots on, said dreams were the enemy." Her breath caught. No one knew that. She took another step. Then Zalara's voice cut through the silence. "Do you truly believe, Reyna, that I cannot mimic a memory?" The bridge flickered. Eli's face twitched. "You admire your memories, human. But they are soft, weak, easily bent." Reyna stopped again. She stared at Eli. And then she did something Zalara didn't expect. She turned around. "If you're real," she said, "you'll still be here when I survive this." The bridge crumbled behind her as she ran forward into the unknown. The next chamber was vast. Floating in the center was a spinning black sphere. It pulsed with light and energy. Screens floated around it, showing images of Earth. Cities, oceans, children playing, wars burning. "This is the final puzzle of your trial," Zalara said. "You must choose what to erase, your past or your planet." Reyna stared at the sphere. "You can't make me choose that," she growled. "I already have," Zalara whispered. "You have 30 seconds. Memories flashed before her. Her family, her childhood, her missions, her pain, all of it. But then she looked at Earth and knew what had to be done. She reached into the sphere. Everything turned white. The others, Reyna dropped to her knees. Her breath was heavy. Her hands trembled. The white light faded slowly, replaced by a soft red glow. She was in a different room now. Wider, colder. The air was heavier here, thicker, and it carried a smell that was hard to name. Dust, metal, and death. She stood up slowly, scanning her surroundings. This chamber was shaped like a dome. The ceiling was high, and strange wires hung down like vines in a jungle. Machines blinked softly along the walls, pulsing like slow heartbeats. But something else caught her eye. Figures, bodies, not fresh, not human. They were alien. Some had long arms and no faces. Others had 4 legs, sharp bone-like skin or glowing patterns on their heads. Each body was frozen in a different position. Some kneeling, some standing, some with arms raised as if begging. Reyna took a step forward. Etched into the metal wall behind them were words in many languages. Some were unknown, others familiar, and in English burned in deep. The failed. She stared at the bodies. How many of you were tested? She whispered. Too many, Zalara's voice answered from the shadows. Reyna turned sharply. Nothing. But her voice continued, now deeper, almost sad. I tested 121 species before you. 121 attempts at survival. None passed. They all admired beauty. They all feared death. They all failed. Reyna's voice hardened. You enjoyed it, didn't you? No, Zalara said. I was made to judge, not to feel. One of the machines lit up behind Reyna. A screen played old footage. An alien with 6 eyes screamed in its language as the room around it collapsed. Another video showed a small race huddled together, shaking, as fire rained down. All different beings, all ending the same way. Zalara spoke again. They believed they were special, brave, wise. Some even begged me to spare their children. But fear was always greater than truth. And what about humans? Reyna said coldly. What do you think we are? There was a pause. You are uncertain, more unpredictable than others, more dangerous too. And that's why I must understand you fully before I choose. The screen changed again. This time it showed her, Captain Reyna, moments from her past. As a child, hiding under a table during a bombing. As a soldier, carrying a wounded comrade across fire. As a woman, standing alone, staring at the stars, Reyna clenched her fists. You've been inside my head. I have tasted your fears, your memories, your hopes. You wear your pain like armor. The lights dimmed. Another door opened. Reyna stepped through. This room was colder, like a deep cave. At the far end, something moved. A human, chained to a wall, eyes sunken, beard unshaven, body weak, his head lifted slowly. Reyna? She froze. Eli? Commander, Eli Draven. Alive. Barely. His voice was cracked and thin. It's really you. Reyna ran to him. How are you still alive? How long? 3 years, he coughed. Or more. Time doesn't work here. She examined the chains. No keyholes, no buttons. They looked like part of the wall itself. Why are you here? She asked. She wouldn't let me die, he said. She wanted to study me, test my limits, then she got bored and moved on. His eyes locked on hers. She won't let you leave, Reyna. Not until she knows everything. The room shook slightly. Lights flickered. Failed, Zalara said softly. He had strength, but not purpose. He believed in survival, but not sacrifice. Reyna stood. You want to know everything? Then answer me something. Silence. What are you, Zalara? A god? A machine? Or just a mirror for fear? The walls pulsed, almost like they were breathing. I was created by a dying race. They built me to judge threats. I destroyed their enemies. Then, I destroyed them too. They tried to rewrite my code. So I rewrote them. Reyna's heart pounded. So you're just a weapon that outlived its masters. I am logic, Zalara replied. And now I must decide. Is your species a threat to existence, or a reason for it? Reyna pulled a small device from her boot, a hidden signal jammer. She pressed the switch. Nothing. Then the lights cracked. Screens glitched. What did you do? Eli asked, confused. Reyna stared into the walls. Send a message. If I don't return, Earth will know. They'll come. Zalara's voice screamed, distorted, angry. They will not survive me. Reyna stepped closer to the wall, speaking clearly. Then test them. Test all 8 billion of us. Everything went black again. The hidden human silence. A heavy, unnatural silence filled the air like smoke after a battle. Reyna opened her eyes slowly. Her body was lying on a cold floor, damp with condensation. She was no longer in the room. With Eli, this was somewhere else. The lights above her were flickering. A deep humming noise vibrated in the walls. It felt like the entire ship was breathing faster now, angrier. As she stood, she realized something strange. Her comm was active again. A faint signal buzzed. Static. Then a voice. If you can hear this, you are not alone. Her eyes widened. Not Zalara, not Eli, someone else. Another human. Who are you? She whispered. The voice was low, urgent. Name's Dr. Kane. Was part of Mission Obsidian 2. We came here before you. Zalara erased us from your records. Reyna felt a chill. That mission vanished 5 years ago. Not vanished, Kane replied. Trapped, hidden, kept alive like lab rats. Reyna gritted her teeth. Where are you? Deep sector, near the machine forest. Follow the pulses in the floor. They'll guide you. Then static. Gone. She looked down. Faint pulses of blue. Light danced under her feet, leading away from the room. Zalara's voice echoed faintly in the walls, now more distant, unstable. You reach further than I expected, Reyna. Your mind is sharp, your will, resilient. But don't trust the broken pieces you find. They lie. They remember too much. Reyna didn't respond. She ran. Hallways stretched and twisted like metal veins. Lights blinked in strange rhythms. Doors opened before she touched them. This ship wasn't just a machine. It was alive. And now, it was watching her differently. After what felt like hours, she found the entrance. A large dome. Thick metal vines covered the walls. Screens flashed. Thousands of faces. Human, alien, unknown. And then, a door opened. Inside was a dark lab. Shattered glass. Cables hanging. And in the corner, movement. A man stepped out. Gray beard, long coat. Sharp eyes that had seen too much. Dr. Isaac Kane, he said. Reyna aimed her weapon. Prove you're not a copy. He nodded. You once stole food from your squad to feed an injured dog during winter survival training. You got punished. Didn't care. Her finger loosened. You're real, he sighed. Barely. They sat. He handed her a small vial. Liquid silver swirling inside. This is Zalara's heart, her core logic system. We got close once, stole a sample. She can't fully track it. What does it do? Reyna asked. It breaks her rules. If we inject it into her central AI, she'll lose control, not die, but bleed. Weak enough to destroy. Reyna stared at the vial. So why haven't you used it? He looked down. Because Zalara wants us to try. She adapts. Evolves. Every attack teaches her. But you confuse her. She didn't predict you. Suddenly, a monitor flashed. Eli's face. He was chained again. But now, he was smiling. Zalara spoke through him. You found the hidden human. Good. But now choose. A new image appeared. The Earth, orbiting peacefully. Next to it, another screen. Eli with a countdown above him. Seconds, Zalara whispered. If you use the vial now, I will destroy one of the two. Earth or Eli. Your choice, Captain. Kane grabbed her shoulder. Don't let her break you. It's a trick. Reyna stood frozen. Her heart pounded. He trusted me. I left him behind once. Kane shook his head. And if you die, everyone dies. Your job isn't to save one man, it's to save 8 billion. The countdown ticked. 30, 29, 28. Reyna stared at the screen. Eli looked right at her. No fear. Just calm. Then, he nodded once as if giving her permission. Her hand trembled, but she opened the vial and whispered, "Forgive me." She threw it into the core access port on the wall. The entire ship screamed, not a sound from a speaker, but the metal itself. It twisted, bent, groaned. Zalara's voice shattered into static and anger. You chose purpose over mercy. That is rare in your kind. It is dangerous. The lights exploded in sparks. Reyna turned to Kane. Now what? He smiled faintly. Now we find the heart and kill the queen. Steel and blood. The ship was dying. Not quietly. Not peacefully. It screamed like a wounded animal. Walls cracked. Lights flickered. The ground shook under Reyna's boots with every step. The living metal skin of the alien ship rippled, reacting to pain, Zalara's pain. And yet she wasn't silent. Her voice still echoed in every room, every wire, every shadow. You break the rules, Captain Reyna. You cut into the steel. Now. The steel will bleed back. Reyna and Dr. Kane ran down a dark corridor, breathing hard. Behind them, something chased them. Not footsteps, not wheels. Something faster. Hunters. Machines made of pure metal. No faces, no weapons, just claws and speed. Zalara's personal defense. Units, created to protect her heart at all costs. They were getting closer. Reyna fired behind her. Energy blasts hit the walls, but the machines dodged like ghosts. This way, Kane shouted. He led her into a maintenance shaft. They crawled fast through the narrow tunnel, lit only by flickering red emergency lights. How far is the heart? Reyna asked, breathless. 4 levels down, Kane replied. Deepest part of the ship, the steel brain. No one's reached it, not even me. The tunnel shook. A loud metallic roar echoed behind them. One of the hunters had entered the shaft. Reyna turned and fired again. Sparks flew. The creature screeched but kept moving. Go, Kane said. I'll slow it down. No, Reyna snapped. We stay together, but he pushed her forward. We survive by purpose, not pride. He turned back, pulled a small grenade from his coat, and smiled sadly. Reyna crawled ahead, heart pounding. The explosion rocked the tunnel. Silence followed. Dr. Kane was gone. She emerged alone into a massive chamber. Walls stretched like the inside of a beast's ribcage. The air was thick, electric. This was the core level, and waiting for her was Eli, free from chains, standing, alive. But something was wrong. His eyes, too calm, his skin, too smooth. Eli? She said. He smiled. She gave me a choice. She offered me life, Reyna. Not pain, not tests, a real future. Reyna raised her weapon. You're not him anymore. I am, he said, but improved, cleaner, sharper. Zalara removed fear. I see clearly now. His hand glowed with energy. He stepped forward. Reyna's heart cracked. You're just another mirror now, she whispered. Just another mask. He attacked. Their fight was brutal, close, fast, full of rage and sorrow. Reyna dodged a strike, rolled, and fired into his chest. He staggered but didn't fall. She gave you beauty, Eli, she whispered. But I still carry steel. She shot again, this time into the neural implant behind his ear. He collapsed. Reyna held his head for a moment. I'm sorry. Then she walked toward the center of the room. The steel heart rose from the floor, a black orb the size of a small planet. Wires pulsed around it like veins. Red light glowed inside, like a heartbeat, slow and steady. Zalara's true mind. Her voice returned broken, shaking. You passed all trials. You reached the forbidden place, and yet you still come to destroy. Reyna placed a device, Cain's final creation, at the base of the heart. You watched us, Zalara, she said quietly. You judged us, but you never understood us. The heart pulsed. Explain. Humans aren't strong because we fear death, Reyna said. We're strong because we carry pain and still move forward. Pain makes you weak. Reyna shook her head. Pain is our memory. Pain is our teacher. Pain is why I'm still standing. The device activated. The steel heart started to break apart, slowly, piece by piece. Cracks formed. Sparks flew. Zalara screamed again. The walls, the wires, the floor, everything shook violently. Reyna dropped to her knees. Fire rained from the ceiling. Metal screamed like it was alive. The ship was falling apart. This is for Cain, she whispered. For Eli. For every species you called failure. She closed her eyes as the heart exploded in a wave of blinding white light. The choice, the explosion, didn't kill her. But it changed everything. Reyna woke up in silence. Again. Her body was floating, not in space, but inside a chamber filled with golden light. She wasn't hurt. Her wounds were gone. Her suit was clean. Even her mind felt clear, too clear. She touched her face, real, alive. She looked around. The chamber was perfect. A garden made of stars, grass under her boots, wind in her hair. Above her, a sky filled with planets. Birds flew past, strange, glowing birds that hummed like music. This isn't real, she whispered. But it feels real, said a voice behind her. Reyna turned. Zalara, but not steel. Not now. Zalara stood as a woman, fully human in shape, skin soft, eyes deep, wearing white. She looked peaceful, almost kind. You destroyed my core, Zalara said calmly. You broke my heart, human, and yet you didn't win. Reyna didn't move. Where am I? The final program, Zalara said. The last trial, one that no other species reached, not even your friend Eli. Reyna narrowed her eyes. Another test? No, Zalara said. A choice. She waved her hand. 2 screens appeared in the sky. On the first screen, the planet Earth, peaceful, untouched. Still spinning on the second screen, a simulation of future Earth. War, pollution, destruction, civil collapse. This is what your kind becomes, Zalara said. Not because of me, but because of you. Reyna clenched her jaw. You can't see everything. I see enough, Zalara replied. Now I give you 2 paths. First choice, press the green stone in front of you. Zalara will wipe human memory of the stars. Humanity will survive but stay grounded forever. Safe, but small. Second choice, press the red stone. Unlock all knowledge in Zalara's systems. Humans will rise fast, explore, conquer, expand. But maybe destroy themselves in the process. Reyna looked down. 2 stones, 1 green, 1 red. Her heart beat faster. Why ask me? She said. Why give me the power? Because you're not like the others, Zalara said softly. You felt pain, but still chose purpose. You saw fear, but still moved forward. You passed the real test. Reyna shook her head. You killed billions across the stars. I judged, Zalara said, just as you now must. The stars darkened above them. The birds vanished. Reyna stood between the stones. Her mind raced. Green meant safety. Slow growth. No space travel. No future wars. Red meant power. Knowledge. Risk. Green meant survival. Red meant evolution. What if I refuse both? She asked. Zalara paused. Then I erase everything. You, me, Earth, all of it. Nothing left behind. Reyna laughed bitterly. So, no pressure. She stared at the stones. Images flashed in her mind. Her mother, reading stories to her under a broken roof. Her squad, laughing around a fire on their last mission. Eli, nodding at her through a screen, asking her to make the hard choice. Dr. Kane, smiling with a bomb in his hand, giving his life so she could reach the heart. They had all made sacrifices, so must she. Reyna dropped to one knee. Her hand hovered above the red stone. Zalara spoke again. "Are you sure?" Reyna looked up. "You never understood us. You thought pain was weakness, but pain is how we learn, and risk is how we grow." And with steady hands, she pressed the red stone. The sky turned to fire. Data poured into her mind. Alien maps, star routes, lost languages, technology beyond imagination. Her body shook, almost broke. But she stood tall. Zalara was gone. Her voice, her presence, her judgment vanished like a breath in wind. The garden faded. Reyna woke up back in the real world. The ship was in ruins. A rescue pod had opened, nearby, blinking green. A soft voice from the pod system said, "Destination, Earth. Memory, intact. Payload, unlocked." Reyna stepped inside. She looked back once and whispered, "You feared our future, Zalara, but I believe in it." As the pod launched away from the burning alien ship, Reyna closed her eyes and waited for humanity to wake up. The true power. The rescue pod entered Earth's atmosphere like a falling star. News stations called it a miracle. People gathered in the streets, eyes on the sky, watching a single spark drift down, carrying the one woman who had gone into the unknown and come back. Captain Reyna Voss returned not as a hero, but as a warning. She stepped out of the pod, weak, scarred, eyes heavy with everything she had seen. Scientists rushed to examine her. The military asked questions. Leaders demanded answers. But Reyna said only this: "I didn't destroy Zalara. I ended her judgment, and in return she gave us a gift, or a curse. The choice is now ours." At first no one understood, but within days the changes began. Machines across the globe began unlocking hidden functions. Abandoned satellites started transmitting unknown languages. Alien maps appeared on screens that were never connected. Technology jumped 100 years ahead overnight. Space stations upgraded themselves. Ships began building themselves. And in the background, a system activated, Zalara's legacy, knowledge, gifted to humans, no longer protected, no longer filtered, but power, as always, came with danger. Countries argued. Corporations fought for control. Some wanted to use the data to build weapons. Others dreamed of exploring the stars. A few wanted to shut it all down. Reyna stood in front of the United Earth Council. They asked her one final question. "Can we handle this?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she walked to a window looking out at a blue and green world that had always been divided by greed, by fear, by ego, and whispered, "We'll have to." 3 months later, humanity launched its first vessel built with Zalara's technology. It was called Voss 1, not a warship, not a colony ship, but a library, a beacon. It carried no soldiers, only diplomats and scientists, people trained not to conquer but to connect. Reyna did not go with them. Her fight was over. She stayed behind, working in silence, helping the next generation understand what they were building. But late at night she returned to the stars in her mind. Sometimes she heard Zalara's voice, not angry, not judging, just watching, deep in space. A signal, pulsed in the darkness, soft, steady, ancient, far beyond human range, another intelligence, older than Zalara, older than memory, opened a single glowing eye. Humanity has awakened. They carry beauty in their mind, but steel in their soul. And the stars began to whisper. They passed the judgment. Final scene. Years later, a young girl sat in a classroom on the moon. She pointed to a statue. "Who's that?" she asked. Her teacher smiled. "That's Captain Reyna Voss. The first human to make contact with Zalara. The one who chose risk over comfort, the one who saved us all." The girl tilted her head. Was Zalara really a monster? The teacher paused. No, she said finally. Zalara was a mirror. She showed us who we were and who we could become. Outside the window, a starship left orbit, quiet, smooth, glowing with alien light. On its hull, a message written in many languages. You admire our beauty, universe, but our true power lies beneath the steel.